Well, we're getting our yearlings all put together. What's that? Dough box wood-fired pizza and pasta. Ooh, new store. That's where Pizza Hut used to be. Never seen a Pizza Hut go broke in my life. Yes? No? You have?
I haven't been to Pizza Hut since I was 12, so.
Oh, you've eaten that from that Pizza Hut many times, though.
Yeah, like more.
Many
Remember
times.
the buffet they used to have?
Yeah, that's when I was a kid.
Ice cream?
I never got the ice cream. I was more of a salad guy.
I'm sure you were.
So we got all the yearlings purchased now. Now it's just putting them in place. We have about 16 or 17 that are going to reside full-time in Ontario, and if we need more horses to come over, we will. If we need to move some over to Ohio, we'll do that also. We do have some movement this week, horses that are moving around a little bit. Red Overbach is going to go to Northfield Park. I want Mike to look at him now, whether he races at Northfield or goes to the Meadows or goes to Stacy and Brett in Dayton, or comes home at some point. Then that'll be up to him. But I do want to get him over there, have a fresh set of eyes, look at that guy, and then look to race him. I know he fits some classes at the Meadows also. So we just want to find the perfect spot for horses. And of course, a lot of these 3-year-olds may need a rest at some point. I don't know if Red Overbach is one of those or not. I don't know if fatigue is playing any role or not also. We want to take a look at what is playing a role and then make decisions as what we're going to do. So I don't want to get off topic too much. We want to talk about all the babies, where they're at, what they're doing. AC Swan. Now, I do get the 2 Illinois breds mixed up right now. I still haven't seen them in person. Jim was taking care of them. We had taken OCD out of one of them. Not a big deal. Both of those horses are resting now, and we'll be ready to come back to Northfield at some point. I'm going to talk about the open house and the opening of this week. So for now, we're just going to stick to the yearlings. AC Swan is in Illinois. That horse and her training partner, so to speak, will be coming back probably within the next 3 weeks to Northfield Park. Activation. I get this horse mixed up with the filly all the time, but this is actually the colt. He's been trotting nice. We gave you guys a little sneak peek now. One of our clients said, one of the drones coming. The horses just got bought, and there's no point doing a drone of the horses probably until the 1st of December when they're all gated. They're all doing their work, some of them looking a little more buttoned up than the other ones. The horses from Harrisburg will only be in 2.5 weeks. You want to tell Tommy, barn 8. He just messaged me, where's that horse going? Just tell him barn 8. You have him on Facebook messages then?
I have a stall already. You told me he was going to Tamiko.
Oh, then tell him he's going to Tamiko. Just ask him he's sending him to Tamiko. You don't have a stall. There's 2 leaving tomorrow. Oh, I guess you don't have a stall today, though.
Oh, he can go and he'd have to go beside Renegade Gypsy. He's racing tomorrow.
No, don't do that.
Oh, Garden State Deal.
She left?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell him first line, first stall, barn 8 on the right, on the barn 8. So affection went well. I was saying the drones. Well, the drones starting probably the first part of December. We want to make sure that all the horses are gated. No, everybody wants to see them. You say that because you want to see a morning of watching the horses, but you also don't want to see a morning of them bouncing around and not doing their work properly. You want to have the horses in a position where they're ready to look like horses. Now, obviously, you saw the Ohio breds and the American breds we bought from Lexington, for the most part, are going in sets. Not a problem. We're going to start the Ontario breds going in sets this week. Also, Lonely Lakewood will start going in sets. He had already been going for a little while anyway when he was castrated. All those horses can start going in sets the mid to end part of this week. Wait, I wanted a car wash. Came out in the wrong place, didn't we? Or is it right there? No, it's right there. My bad. I'm going to do a little Yui. Just relax, lady. Anyway, who do we have next? Alibaba. That's the other horse in Illinois. She'll be coming down. The 2 fillies will be coming down at the same time to Northfield Park.
There's someone behind you.
Yep. That's why I'm doing this, sweetie. Next is Antilles Hanover. Now, little story about Antilles Hanover. Not that he was a dirty colt or a bad colt, but he struck Lauren, kicked her, when we first broke him. So it was bad news for him because the vet was there gelding another horse. And Tilly's Hanover is our first gelding from the Harrisburg sale. You don't kick people in the barn. That's rule number 1. And unfortunately for him, the principal was in the barn. So Tilly's Hanover is now a gelding. This is the International Money colt. Good looking colt. Stands off a bit. Lauren had said, he wasn't dirty about it. He was just scared, but at the same time, he shouldn't be kicking at people. So Tilly's Hanover is a gelding and now is at Northfield Park. He'll begin jogging first part of the week. Arson looked amazing in his video. I didn't see him in the video. I saw him on the track. Horse looks amazing. His sister, in her last start of the year, I assume that was her last start of the year, she was beat a nose in the final of the kindergarten series and looked very, very good doing it. I would like to see her win, but she just got picked off the wire. Blanton's Blue looks good also. This is a guy here. He was really, really ornery when I went with him. I had him thought out pretty good by the time you guys saw that video of Blanton's Blue. And I had to think to myself, geez, this guy here might end up being a gelding too if he's going to end up. This is a smaller, he's a beautiful Chapter 7 colt, but a little bit smaller and a little bit ornery. Usually, I'm going to give them a week. I might even give them 2, but if they're still going to continue to act up and be stupid and act stupid, weeks and weeks after we break them, then they likely will find themselves on the I should finish this video, on the gelding list. So Blanton's Blue is good right now. Is fine right now, but at the same token, he is quietly sketched in pencil on that geldings list. Hopefully we don't have to write in pen. Born to Dance looks great over there also. He's doing his work well. Chirahola looks good. Did you go with her? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chirahola looks good in Northfield Park. Again, I don't know if Amy now will get over next weekend. Did you say you didn't want to? I was coming home Thursday, but did we have something we had to do? Anyway, we'll figure it out. Our plan from here to Christmas will be, I'll go over to Northfield Park Tuesday evening, race Wednesday, be with the babies on Wednesday. And then after school on Friday, Amy and I and the kids will make a trip over to Northfield Park quite regularly, and we'll train the horses together on Saturday. So that's the plan for Northfield right now. I don't know if that's a plan for next Saturday. It might be, but for now, that will be the plan for us moving forward. Cowboy by the Sea looked great. I went with that horse. Remind me, I got to take those hobbles for him. I got to take the hobbles for Cowboy by the Sea over. Yeah. Don't talk about Bruno. I thought that this horse, especially when we broke him, I thought he's not quite as big and muscular as Crantini was, but seems to be a lot more level-headed. He wasn't bouncing around. He wasn't being rude. He didn't try and kick. He went out and trotted. You guys saw the video. He was quiet as a kitten. He did everything right. And I did say I was going to geld him right away. Now, the vet cannot geld him until the end of November. They're away. They're booked up. I said, okay, no problem. We'll just give him till the end of November to prove then. So don't talk about Bruno. The testes are in place, and they'll remain in place until the end of November at the earliest. Drebin was good. Again, a horse that I thought would go out and just wreck everything. He was big. He's big, much bigger than I thought he was.
Who was that?
Drebin?
Yeah, he's big.
He's big. And when you see them at the sale, like, but you see so many in a day, you're like, he looks nice. He's big. He's medium-sized. Then you get them home in a quieter setting, like, oh my God, this horse is big. Drebin is a big boy. And he went out and did his work perfectly. Easy on the turns. Everybody keeps raving about how good she looks on the track, how she does her work perfectly. She's the muscle mass from Schaefer's, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I get her mixed up with the other one.
Her name's Tina.
What's that?
Her name's Tina.
Tina, okay. Electric Line looked good over at Northfield when we went with this horse the other day. Now, Electric Line is a colt that was purchased and sent to the sale by Bill Donnelly, or sent to the stable by Bill Donnelly, and horse looks good. Looks good on the track. Flash Fly, I went with yesterday, also looked very, very nice. Everybody said, I don't understand it. Everybody said, the green shoes. The word on the street in Harrisburg were the green shoes were very difficult to break. I didn't get that memo. R3 were perfectly fine to break. And actually, somebody was said, the one horse, she had the hobbles on. I said, yeah, I put the trotting hobbles on her because she was getting a little frustrated. She wasn't mean. She wasn't bad about it. All 3 of them are trotting perfectly now, and all the ones we bought broke fine and trotted perfect the other day also.
Actually, it was funny because Flashfly is in the stall beside the
number 2.
They're the same size.
They're exact same.
I thought Flashfly was so small.
I told you she wasn't small.
And they're long.
Yes, very long. Very, very long.
I noticed that yesterday.
Oh, here, you can try that now. Oh, it's very good.
Is it like juice?
No, it's like tea.
Okay, that is not drinkable.
Oh my God.
Like,
wife.
I just burnt my
wife, you burnt your lip?
Yeah.
You burnt your lip like a little baby? Look. Perfectly fine. I think we grew up in two very different childhoods. Amy's childhood was sheltered, and I don't like drinking hot things.
When I was a kid,
if it's
I
too
didn't
hot.
ask for a
How did you have
spot of tea.
How did you have hot chocolate when you were a kid? Was it like lukewarm? Was it like chocolate milk warmed up?
I don't know.
It's terrible. She doesn't like hot tea. So there's this like tea kettle, it's called, this tea place in the mall. We went up to the mall because I wanted to get a new case, and my screen.
It tastes like peach juice watered down that you just heated up to 100,000 degrees. That's what it tastes like.
You're not normal.
Like, if I'm going to drink something...
It's a green tea, and it was
that
fantastic.
tastes
And
like
it is fantastic.
juice, I want to drink it quickly, like half of it at once.
Well, you can, but you would cry, apparently, the way you're saying it. Anyway, where were we? Talking about babies, I think, not tea and burnt lips. Easy on the turns, electric line, flash fly. Amy and I were talking about insider trading and flash fly, how they look so much the same. Insider trading's maybe a little bit more girthy.
Thicker,
Yeah, a little thicker, but flash fly looked amazing too. George of the Jungle arrives today. George of the Jungle. He's there now. We're going to go over and take a look at George. George of the Jungle.
In the jungle.
George of the Jungle.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's not George in the Jungle.
It's on there.
So you don't know how to drink tea when you were a kid and you didn't get any
Well,
wrong.
it's on. It says of.
That's what I just said, George of the Jungle. You said George in the Jungle.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Maybe he is in the jungle.
Yeah, George of the Jungle looked great at the sale. I thought this horse was an easy pickup for $32,000. Very happy with him. Goldbug Hanover. Where's Goldbug?
Not here.
She's in Ohio? Oh, Goldbug's in Ohio. So Goldbug Hanover is broke and going right now. I will see Goldbug on Wednesday morning. Tuesday night, but Wednesday morning. Great Bet will be coming up to first line at some point in the next little while. All gated up, pacing nice. Man, he looks great. We still got one curb to crow on this guy. After that, there won't be any problems, I don't imagine. Green Tea is broken going in Ohio. It looks very good on the track. A big T colt. Gypsy Hill going nice also. I noticed I just went ahead and put flip-flops on all the babies. I just did. This was the first year we did it, but at the end of the day, it seems like a number of them, we have to address this at some point, and there's no real reason not to. So I just went ahead and put flip-flops on them. We're going to at least get them gated and training down, and if we get to 40 and they're interfering a little bit, we say, we may take those flip-flops off. But there's no real reason not to have them on, so I just went ahead and put them on. Even on Great Bet. So Gypsy Hill was picking at his hind pasterns. He has the flip-flops on. If that continues at speed, then we will take them off, but I'm certainly not worried about that. Gypsy Hill's trotting nice. So Hallie in the Clouds, everybody likes here. Really, really nice filly on the track and off the track. I'm Fancy Like, gated up now and looking very, very good. A little fancy. The Dancing Yankee filly. Insider Trading, that's the one, number 2 in the Lexington sale. Very interested in this filly and very impressed by her. She looked great. I told the story to everybody. This was not one of my picks. It was not one of Amy's picks. It was not one of Steve's picks. This was a pick by a gentleman named Robert Lidstrom. He's a big bloodstock agent and owner, breeder in Europe. Resides, I believe he told me his home is in the northern part of Sweden. His company has offices in Stockholm, if I'm not mistaken, and they deal in the frozen semen from Europe and from the U.S. If you ship any sort of horse semen around from Europe to North America, vice versa, you've dealt with or been in touch with Robert Lidstrom likely at some point. He came on the show. We were talking with him on the show, and he divulged that he liked number 2. I hadn't looked at number 2 at all. Hadn't looked at number 2, hadn't pulled her out. I hadn't even inspected her, but he thought that she would bring a lot more money. And I've dealt with Mr. Lidstrom in the past. Very sharp guy, has a very sharp eye. It was just one of those horses. We hadn't got to All-American yet, hadn't looked at any of the horses, but it was, I guess, a leap of faith in the sense that I looked at all the notes that he had taken on the filly. And it wasn't that I looked at them because I was buying them. We were just kind of comparing notes on the horses. He had told me how much he liked 109, Amy's top pick, and a couple of fillies that I liked. And he told me, there's one filly that isn't on your list, And this is at 11:45. The sale's about to start anyway. He said, here's one filly that's not on your list that was actually a very nice looking filly. And he turned over to JL Cruz's sister. So when she went in the ring, I was watching her. She stalled at 40. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about an $80,000 to $100,000 filly. She's at 40. The sale just started. I just watched Wheels and On Fire's Colt brother go through the ring for next to nothing because he was so big. But Wheels on Fire's big too. So I sat there, waited. I kind of bit my lip, and I said, I just had the conversation about this filly with Mr. Lidstrom. And I know it's not him bidding at 40. He had just walked away. I bid once at 42, and we ended up with the filly, and promptly Amy and Steve were concerned. Thought maybe I lost my mind because none of us had notes on this filly. And I told them, I said, no, we don't have notes on her, but I just read a whole page full of notes on her in another gentleman's catalog who I hold in pretty high regard, and he was very high on her. And when I caught up to him later and asked him, he said, our clients had locked in on 4 or 5 fillies. I had mentioned this filly because I thought she was nice. I thought she'd bring 80 or 100,000, but was not what they were looking at. They were bidding on the $500,000 filly later on. Who ended up getting her? 109. Did Determination get her?
No. Wasn't it Amber?
No, he got the one we were bidding on. He got the Hanover filly's sister.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He got Temporal Hanover's sister. Anyway, we bought the filly. Beautiful filly. You like everything about her, and she broke perfectly. What a sweetheart on the track. Again, those crazy green shoes. I don't know who ended up sending out those memos, but we never had any problem with any of the ones we've had so far. International Spy. This is a big boy. I thought we were going to have problems with him. He is massive. Went out in the track. Absolutely perfect. Nobody kicked yesterday. A couple threatened. A couple were thinking about it, but none of them kicked. Who did? Irresistible Sun never kicked.
International Spy.
No, he never kicked. None of them kicked. Not one horse kicked on the track. Irresistible Sun. This is one of my top picks of the Ohio sale, and you know me. I very rarely tout a Triumphant Caviar, and no disrespect to the stud. He just hasn't done a whole lot for us. This guy I thought had a great video, great pedigree. We bought him. I love everything about him. He's going great. J-Port Beach Boy. I'll tell you one thing. The Pacers we bought this year, very, very nice looking horses. They weren't just straight up value plays. These were high-powered horses. And this McWicked colt fit right in the middle. We looked at him. I had no intentions. We bought one McWicked in London, McPaisley. I really thought that this colt here, also even when they were in the ring, I think Rob was standing beside me. As the hammer was about to drop at 33, I said, what about this colt? And he goes, yeah, he'll bring 80 or 90. He's in the ring. He didn't know that. And I said, I don't think he will. And he looked up and he goes, oh my. And the hammer dropped and he goes, oh, that colt was worth that. I said, I hope so. He wasn't paying attention. I was bidding on the horse, and I ended up getting him. J-Port Beach Boy looks very, very good. He was one of the very short videos we did for you the other day. Looked great on the track. Levesque in Action continues to do her work well. Finally got her broke in good. Man, she was a little bugger to break in good, but she's going good now. Lonely Lakewood's just a sweetheart of a horse. We only castrated him because he was a Ridgeling. We had a Ridgeling being castrated. I said, we'll send him up and get him taken care of. He's a Father Patrick. We'll get him castrated right away. But I'll tell you one thing. You could jog him. A little kid could jog this horse before he was castrated. Just a sweetheart. Lover's Play is going good. McPaisley. Danny went with McPaisley all week when we were gone. He said she's pacing good now. Melanie's Michaela. Just starting to hit the pace now. Old Melanie. But doing her work well. Mel Gibbs Swan. Again, very inexpensive horse that does his work very, very nicely on the track. Trots really nice. But again, this is a Swan for all. Very good family. This is one that Amy liked. Amy liked a lot. And we got him gated and going good now. Memory and Imagination. Full disclosure. First day, tried to kick everybody's face in. Jason called me and said, might have a little problem. There's a Father Patrick colt here that just kicked for 10 minutes straight on the track. I said, oh, wow. All right, well, leave him for me, and I'll. I said, no, I don't want anybody getting hurt over this horse. I said, I'll go with him when I'm there this week. Just work with him in the barn and walk him. So he calls me the next day. He goes, I hope you don't mind. He said, it bothered me all day that colt was that bad. He said, I went with him again, which I like. He said, we had a third line. I went with him again. He said, I loosened his crouper up, tightened his head up. He was much better. Much, much better. He didn't kick once. I said, okay, no problem. I said, just be careful with the horses. Again, a huge pickup. One of our luckiest finds all year was not the horses, was this Jason. You know, Jason McGinnis does a great job with the aged horses, and does a great job in general with the horses in Ohio. But bringing on Jason Merriman to help with all these horses, and definitely, take the reins when I'm not there, and when Jason's not there with the babies. The guy's been an incredible pickup. He's got a great set of hands, real patient with the horses, very, very good guy to have around. So very lucky to have stumbled upon Jason Merriman to help out in Ohio. Militant, I went with the other day, was incredible for a horse that hadn't had the harness on that much, hadn't been shod even behind before that day, the day before he got done. Man, the horse just trots perfect, and just a very, very professional looking colt on the track. Mounds for All. Somebody said, Anthony, where'd these 4 extra shares come from? Mounds for All on the internet. There was none before. I bought into other horses, and now there's 4 all of a sudden. I said, well, from time to time, we'll have clients that'll say, hey, Anthony, I'd like to get involved with this horse. Can I trade something up? I'm always happy to, especially this time of year when I don't know. Somebody had 4 shares of Mounds for All and wanted to trade for a Pennsylvania Pacer, I think. Might have been a Trotter, I'm not sure. I said, no problem. I got the shares and I put them back on the board. The horse is going great. Mounds for All, look at the videos. And he said, I couldn't see him on the videos. He's there. He went that day. He looked fantastic. Horse does everything right. No complaints at all with Tactical Mounds' brother, the Swan for All colt, Mounds for All. Myself in the bar, still trying to get this guy gated. He was a little sick when we got him. There's no rush. Horse is going to get gated, no problem at all. He paced with no hobbles on the first couple of days. Then when we went to gate him up, it was after he was a little bit sick. He's a little down in the dumps still, but he'll bounce back up and start pacing very, very soon. No chance in Hill. Here's the horse that wrecked everything, was going to be this badass and need to geld him right away, and he's so bad. He's the sweetest horse in the world. Doesn't bother anybody. Goes out, trots 1, 2, 3, 4. Amy went with him the other day. If anything, he's lazy, not crazy. Mm-hmm. So, very, very happy with No Chance in Hill. Oh Snap You, amongst the top of the class. Those 2 fillies, what's the other filly's name? The Hill filly? Sedona Hill and Oh Snap You, I think those fillies can go right along pretty quick right now. Very happy with both of them. Oh Snap You looks great. Paycheck Princess doing her work well. In fact, a little too well. He said she can get a little rammy, a little hot. It's all right. Paycheck Princess is going perfect. She's the one that Jacob Schaefer sent from... and he has another Mickey that he's sending to us too that's not on the list. It's not in the burn yet. He said he'd drop it off next week. Another buyback from Harrisburg. So very happy with the buyback from Lexington. Got probably and hopefully going to be just as happy with the buyback from Harrisburg. So Paycheck Princess going very well. She's sold right out. I think Jacob kept a piece of her. Everybody else gobbled her up. There's another Mickey coming. He sold 2 in there. One went for 5 that was sold, and the other one said no sale. Went for 12. I can't think of her name. You guys can look her up in day 3 in Harrisburg. Pickpocket, this is one you like. He's going good. We have 2 Walner colts now. We have Drebin here in Ontario, and we have Pickpocket in Northfield. Both look good. Pickpocket's doing his work real well. You said he was just a little lazy, right? Goofy.
No, that was the one that kept doing that. He needs his teeth done.
You said they weren't done yet, right? Yeah, we'll get them done. Prince Charmer is straight A's, straight across the board. He's doing everything perfect. So is Pull the Shoes. You went with Pull the Shoes, I think, didn't you? You went with the Chapter 7 filly.
Yes.
Pull the Shoes is, Daryl went with her. She does everything right, too. Punch the Clock. We're actually bringing Punch the Clock back to Ontario. There's a little bit tight squeeze for stalls in Northfield Park. I want to have her here anyway, and a couple of the bigger horses, maybe in a month. Just want to refluoroscope to make sure they're okay heading into starting training. So when we start training around December 1st to December 15th, even those slow miles, I want to make sure as we get closer to Christmas, there's nothing needs addressing. So some of the heavier hitters, even Tim, what the hell is that horse's name?
He's here now.
Time Is on My Side. Punch the Clock, Arson. I might have to get done over there. We'll see.
Here.
Who is? Hallie. Horses like that I don't want to say that I'm playing favorites, but when we have so much money on the line with these horses, if there's any issues at all, I want to make sure we nip them in the bud right away. And that goes for really any of our horses. If there's any issues heading into December 1st, I want to nip them in the bud right away. There hasn't been any with Arson, but I might just get Mike to x-ray him in a few spots, make sure he's okay. And if we have spots and one needs to come back, it could be him also. For now, he's good where he's at, but I do want to take Punch the Clock home. Make sure that we have a ready to roll here with the horses here, and then around the first part of December, bring a couple of those horses over to get them fluoroscoped also. So Punch the Clock will be heading home in the next... Actually, I think she's supposed to head home Tuesday. I think they're coming back from Kentucky, picking up Punch the Clock and coming this way. Because I was hoping we could get papers done on a couple coming out of the field at Tim's place, get the Coggins rushed, get the Coggins done, get health papers for them.
Are those two going to be picked up tomorrow, though, from...
Who? No, tomorrow morning. They have to, because Matt's racing Tuesday.
Yeah.
Where are we at here? Punch the Clock. Purple People Eater is going good on the track also. Horse that's really caught my eyes, ready for landing. This horse looks really, really professional on the track. Very impressed with this horse so far. Really Don't Care is the one you went with. Amy said she was amazing the other day. So we got at least 3 fillies and a colt I can look at right here. Counting Arson is 5. That really have all put it all together real quick and look great. Royal Emeralds. This is the filly we put the hobbles on the other day. I thought she was great with the hobbles on. Just a little. Sometimes when they're stubborn and a little frustrated, it's hard to get them gated because they have to pay attention when they're on the track. So you get them out there and they're frustrated because they can't trot. They're trying to catch up. They're making breaks. Put the hobbles on her. She just dropped her head down and trotted 1, 2, 3, 4. She looked great on the track. Seasons of Love continues to do good things here. That's the bank filly. Tons of shares left in this filly. I don't understand that. Anyway, whatever. She'll sell herself.
Where is she?
Right there, 78. Sedona Hill is a standout also in Ohio. Oh snap, you and her can roll right along right now. Very happy with her. That would be Purple Aura's aunt is who it is. Southwind Digit. This was one of my sleeper picks of the entire Harrisburg sale. There's still shares left in this filly. Southwind Digit. I just love this filly. I love everything about her. She caught my eye in the catalog. She caught my eye that we wanted a bar hopping, but I wanted one that was super correct and looked good. And this filly just looks like she is perfect.
I looked up the one that I wanted and that I had picked out.
Yeah.
Because it was like straight and big and everything, and it went for like $290. So.
And a shocker. Amy said about $2.2 million for the horses she wanted.
Bring 5 horses.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the ones that are not $290. Sully's Landing's going good in Ohio. He does everything right. Sunset Acres Girl, the Jurassic Park filly. Nobody, still 45 shares left to her.
What?
She said, why nobody knows the sire. The dam is like from Jurassic World. It's like old family. Whatever. She trots nice. That's all I care about at this point. What are you going to do? It's not like we're going to say, well, we didn't get the top Michigan sire because I don't even know who it is. So we just got a sire. Sunset Acres Banker. There you go. I have no idea. Third and Six continues to do his work well. This is a 6-pack colt in Ohio. Time is on my side. He's here in Ontario now. That's the Captain Crunch colt. I'll get you guys some videos of him and George of the Jungle tomorrow. Time is on my side. Very, very interested in this colt. Man, very lucky to have him and very happy to have him around. Union Suit is Slim Jimmy's brother. He looks exactly like Slim Jimmy. He's doing his work well. Vaquero Blue Chip acted up the first few days. He almost found himself on the castration list. Another Father Patrick. It was penciled in. We haven't done it yet. I'll leave him for now, but he's going to have to work a little bit because eventually that ink is going to get on that pencil and his testes are going to be bye-bye. So, Vaquero Blue Chip, beautiful gait though. I like him on the track, but he is a little bit of a goofball. Let's put some work into him, then we'll see how he seems. Venice Blue Chip looks great on the track. That's at least one lather up that we have. We have 2 lather ups. The other one is Bill's colt. So we have colt and the filly. Venice Blue Chip looks great on the track. Victory Blue Chip looks good on the track also. Big, strong, international money colt. Widespread Panic. Lots of shares left in this guy. This horse looks great. This is a Muscle Massive colt we got at Lexington. Winter Bells. Tons left in her. This was Danny's favorite filly. The Shadow Play filly. She looks great on the track. Anyway, people haven't seen them. They're going to see them soon enough. And she's the last one. Winter Bells. We also have a couple of colts coming in. We have the one from Jacob. We have the one that we had bought from Tommy. There's 2 that are definitely not on here. Is there anybody else that's not on here? I think that's it. Just 2 more. So I think we have 62 babies, guys. Maybe 63, but definitely 62 in total heading into 2023. Very happy with what we've seen, what we purchased, what we bought them for. To say this could and should be a banner year for the stable bleeds heavily into hope also, because we spent a lot more money, looked at a lot more horses, and acquired much deeper pedigrees. We had great pedigrees last year. Take nothing away from last year. But again, we did move forward in 2022 into 2023. So exciting time for the stable. All the babies start going. I'll be super excited once we get everything rolling properly. We will likely have drone videos for you starting in first part of December here in Ontario, and we'll have the normal videos for you out of Northfield Park. Those are a little easier to make because the horses are on the track. Camera crew is already right there, ready to go. So with that, I'll let you go. We want to talk about the 2-year-olds today. We want to talk with the 3-year-olds, all the stables today. We're going to get a full barrage of videos for everybody at thestable.ca today. With that, I'll let you go. Hope you're having a great day. Take care.